like kind of confusing.
Oh my God.
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus. What does that mean?
What?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me you the father. Babe, that's me, you're the father.
Is not excluded.
You the father, nigga.
Oh, that's what that means?
You a weird ass nigga. What? You
Are you
wanted
sure?
to? You wanted to be it.
I'm saying,
so
are you sure?
weird.
You didn't even read the paper.
You call me dumb, but you the slow one.
It says the alleged father is not. Why they write it like this though? They could have just been like more player.
Yeah, they. Are you confident? Cause you still don't understand.
I think I get it. Not excluded.
You're not excluded, meaning you the father.
The internet didn't just wake up today. It slapped itself awake the moment word spread that Karlissa, the queen of unexpected chaos, marched straight into a DNA center and took a test for Junior like she was solving a crime on national television. And when Chrisean Rock heard about it, she didn't get mad. She didn't get irritated. She snapped like someone unplugged her patience mid-sentence. This wasn't a normal reaction. This was a Category 10 meltdown that made the Kardashians look like calm kindergarten teachers the second the news hit the timeline. Group chats turned into courtroom debates, fan pages started screaming in all caps, and TikTok scientists began analyzing the drama like they had PhDs in DNA theory. Everybody paused their lives to figure out why Karlissa did this, how she did this, and what Chrisean was supposedly hiding. Because the way she reacted, it wasn't giving regular mad. It was giving she knows something we don't. This wasn't gossip. This wasn't tea. This was a certified digital earthquake, shaking the entire Blueface cinematic universe while the internet grabbed popcorn and leaned in like, hold on. Why is she this pressed? And trust me, the truth behind this meltdown is way bigger than anyone expected. The moment the world found out Karlissa took a DNA test for Junior, the entire internet froze like someone hit pause on the universe. People weren't ready. They weren't prepared mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or wifey-wise for this level of insanity. Karlissa didn't hint. She didn't warn. She didn't even blink. She walked into that DNA center like she was on a mission from God, the government, and the gossip pages combined. And when the receptionist asked whose test she was taking, she proudly said JR's name like she was submitting the final boss cheat code. This wasn't normal behavior. This wasn't even regular Karlissa behavior, which is already dramatic enough to power Zeus Network for a decade. This was something else. A bold, chaotic, absolutely unnecessary, yet incredibly entertaining move that set the internet on fire before breakfast. People started asking the biggest question of all. Why would Karlissa take a DNA test for a child that isn't her biological son? A child who already has a mother. A child she has absolutely no legal claim to. It didn't take long for viewers to realize the answer was simple. Karlissa loves drama more than oxygen. Once the news dropped, Chrisean's reaction hit the timeline like a hurricane. She didn't hold back. She didn't breathe. She didn't meditate. She snapped so hard the internet felt the temperature rise. People said she reacted like someone who just found out their worst secret might have been exposed. Others said she reacted like a person who simply hated Karlissa's existence on a spiritual level. But everyone agreed on one thing. Her meltdown was Olympic-level emotional fireworks. The first live she did after hearing the news was so explosive it could have powered a small village. She paced around talking fast, yelling, cursing, asking who gave Karlissa permission, asking why she keeps inserting herself, asking why she can't mind her own business. It was a performance. A chaotic, theatrical, deeply entertaining performance. And people watching were left wondering if the anger came from genuine violation or panic. Because that's where things got messy. The more Chrisean yelled, the more suspicious people became. Her tone wasn't annoyed, it was pressurized. It was why did she do that today of all days? It was oh no. Did Karlissa find something? And the internet, being the internet, ran wild with theories. Some claimed Chrisean was hiding something major about JR's paternity. Others insisted she was simply overwhelmed by months of stress. A few more dramatic fans claimed she acted like someone who had accidentally speedrun a Maury episode in real life. Meanwhile, Karlissa was somewhere smiling like she just lit a match and walked away from the gasoline. She didn't deny anything. She didn't backpedal. She doubled down. She went live talking about finally getting answers, protecting her family, and finding the truth. The way she delivered those lines made people feel like she thought she was the lead investigator in a Netflix documentary titled Karlissa, The Truth No One Asked For. She talked with confidence. She talked with purpose. She talked like someone who absolutely knew what she was about to cause. Ronny entered the storyline next because scandals involving this family apparently require a full cast. He didn't just comment, he brought alleged screenshots, timelines, and voice notes like a messy lawyer presenting a case to the court of public opinion. His messages hinted at inconsistencies and weird things happening behind the scenes, which only added fuel to the fire. Suddenly, the internet wasn't just watching a feud. They were watching a crime thriller with no rules and no break button. Fans on every platform turned into detectives, teachers, therapists, and conspiracy theorists overnight. They analyzed old clips, studying every word Chrisean ever said about Junior. They revisited interviews where Blueface vaguely mentioned doubts. They slowed down videos like they were inspecting fingerprints. One TikTok user posted a 20-minute breakdown titled The Truth About Junior. Timeline exposed, even though they clearly had no idea what they were talking about. People didn't care about facts. They cared about the drama arc. Chrisean's meltdown grew louder as more pages reposted Karlissa's DNA stunt. She accused Karlissa of being obsessed, being delusional, being messy, being intrusive, being everything except normal. But in between her ranting, viewers noticed something she never clearly said. There is nothing to hide. She danced around the topic. She yelled about disrespect. She yelled about boundaries. She yelled about being tired. But she never once calmly explained why she was so terrified of a DNA test she wasn't even present for. And that's when the internet locked in harder. They said her energy wasn't matching innocence. They said she was reacting like someone fighting invisible ghosts. They said only guilty people explode like this. Of course, her fans defended her instantly, saying she was frustrated with constant attacks. They argued nobody would stay calm if a mother-in-law tried to DNA test their baby. But critics rebutted with, she's yelling like Karlissa cracked the Da Vinci Code. The arguments were endless. Karlissa took advantage of this confusion like a villain in a soap opera. She posted cryptic lines like, "Y'all about to see the real truth," and "God don't let lies stand forever," which drove the internet insane. Every time she said truth, people screamed into their phones. It became the most overused, misunderstood, emotionally charged word of the entire drama. And the more she hinted, the more paranoid Chrisean seemed to become. Even Blueface found a way to insert himself, because of course he did. He tweeted a couple shady lines like, "I've been trying to tell y'all and the truth always comes out," which reignited every conspiracy theory from 2021 to now. People said he was acting way too smug for someone with historically questionable behavior. Others said he was finally getting validation. But no matter what he meant, he succeeded in making everything 10 times worse. By the end of the first wave, one question echoed across every platform. The second wave of chaos didn't just hit, it blew the entire internet into orbit. As soon as clips of Karlissa walking confidently into that DNA center went viral, the memes multiplied like wild rabbits. TikTok turned it into a mini-series. Twitter caught on fire. Instagram started glitching like it couldn't handle the stupidity levels. People edited Karlissa into detective outfits, CSI intros, FBI walk-ins, and even Maury's famous "You Are Not the Father" segments. It wasn't funny, but it absolutely was. One clip went viral showing Chrisean screaming on live while someone edited cartoon flames behind her as dramatic opera music played. Another meme showed Karlissa carrying a swab like she was holding Thor's hammer. Even Junior got manned into a tiny superhero cape with the caption, "When your entire existence becomes a paternity investigation." People weren't respecting anybody at this point. They were laughing, crying, analyzing, and instigating all at once. It was entertainment on steroids. Celebrities jumped into the mess like they were waiting for an excuse. One rapper tweeted, "Ain't no way she took a DNA test for a baby she didn't have," and people retweeted it 100,000 times. A washed-up reality star posted, "When family drama meets science," as if anyone asked for her commentary. Even a famous comedian uploaded a skit pretending to be the DNA center receptionist, calling security because a grandmother is trying to test a baby that didn't come out of her. The internet lost all sense of maturity, but the true chaos came from influencers who pretended to have exclusive sources. They made videos whispering dramatically, claiming they knew the real reason Karlissa did this. None of them knew anything. You could hear the lies dripping off every word. One girl claimed a family insider told her Blueface encouraged Karlissa to take the test. Another said Chrisean allegedly avoided 3 previous DNA appointments. None of it was confirmed. All of it was messy, and the views were skyrocketing. The conspiracy theories jumped to a whole new level. People were writing full novels in comment sections, predicting every outcome like psychics. Some said Blueface always doubted Junior, others said Karlissa had been collecting evidence for months, waiting for the perfect moment. A few truly delusional fans said Junior might not even be real, and the baby was a crisis actor, proof that the internet is 90% nonsense and 10% Wi-Fi. Nonsense and 10% Wi-Fi. But the biggest theory of all was the one everyone whispered about. What if Chrisean's reaction wasn't anger? What if it was fear? That theory spread like wildfire. Suddenly, every video clip of Chrisean was being rewatched in slow motion. Every tone change was analyzed. Every eye movement was dissected. People said she looked panicked, not annoyed. Defensive, not irritated. Cornered, not offended. And that theory alone created a whole new tornado of assumptions. Meanwhile, Karlissa fed into it perfectly. She went live again, speaking in that dramatic, slow, suspense-building voice she uses when she wants to sound like she's about to reveal the world's deepest secret. Except she didn't actually reveal anything. She just said things like, "They know what they did, and truth don't stay hidden long, and God is working," which told the internet absolutely nothing but gave them everything to obsess over. Blueface, of course, threw gasoline on the fire. He posted a picture of himself smirking with the caption, "Told y'all," and the comment section exploded. People demanded answers. Some accused him of orchestrating this. Others begged him to explain. But Blueface never explains anything because chaos pays his bills. His smirk alone added 12 new conspiracy theories to the roster. Chrisean's silence during this part of the scandal was the scariest twist. She didn't post. She didn't rant. She didn't scream. She went quiet. And the internet interpreted that silence as guilt, panic, or emotional collapse, depending on which fan page you asked. Some said she was preparing legal action. Others said she was too hurt to speak. A few trolls said she was drafting her apology video. Silence is powerful. And in the world of social media, silence can sound louder than screaming. The meltdown online expanded into family circles. Chrisean's relatives jumped into comment sections defending her honor like knights in a medieval war. They said she was being targeted, bullied, harassed, and disrespected. Meanwhile, supporters of Karlissa argued she had the right to seek the truth, and fans of Blueface said they were tired of being confused every week. The drama had turned into a 3-sided battlefield with no survivors. Then came the allegedly leaked text messages, screenshots showing conversations that may or may not have been real. Nobody knew. Nobody could verify anything. But the internet doesn't care about verification. It cares about chaos. Some messages hinted that Chrisean didn't want further DNA testing. Others suggested she and someone close to her had argued about JR's paternity months ago. whether real or fake. The screenshots inflamed the situation like throwing oil on a campfire. A popular YouTuber dropped an entire 30-minute documentary-style video titled The DNA War: How It All Began, complete with dramatic music, slow zooms, and over-the-top narration. It got millions of views. That's when people realized the scandal wasn't just viral, it was profitable. Everybody was cooking content from the chaos, squeezing views out of Jair's DNA like it was trending Karlissa. As the story snowballed, the emotional tone grew darker. Fans began expressing concern for Chrisean's mental health. Others worried Karlissa was going too far. Some feared Blueface would exploit the situation even more. The entire fiasco evolved from funny to frightening. You could feel the shift in the comments. Less laughing emojis. More "this is getting out of hand." But the real twist came when someone leaked a clip claiming Karlissa hinted she'd already seen the results. Whether she meant that literally or metaphorically didn't matter. The internet believed the worst. People said she sounded too confident, too calm, too victorious. Suddenly, viewers believed she wasn't just guessing, she knew something. And that one moment triggered the biggest explosion of tension yet. Everyone needed answers. Everyone needed explanations. Everyone needed to know what the DNA test revealed, or what it threatened to reveal. And the only person who could settle the truth stayed silent, which meant the storm had only just begun. As the scandal entered its final, ugliest stretch, the internet realized this wasn't just drama anymore. This was a meltdown in slow motion. And everyone involved was unraveling in different ways. The jokes faded. The memes quieted. Even the trolls slowed down as the emotional weight of everything became impossible to ignore. For the first time, people weren't just entertained, they were actually worried. The air online shifted from chaotic laughter to an eerie silence full of unanswered questions. Chrisean finally broke her quiet streak, and her message hit harder than any rant she had ever posted. She didn't scream. She didn't curse. She didn't clap back. She simply posted a single emotional line that read like a plea from someone gasping underwater. Why would she do this? No extra words. No anger. No shade. Just confusion wrapped in heartbreak. Fans immediately felt the pain behind it. Her tone wasn't defensive. It was wounded deeply, genuinely, unexpectedly wounded. In that moment, the internet saw Chrisean not as the wild, loud, unpredictable personality she's known for, but as a young mother who felt betrayed in the most personal way imaginable. The comments poured in instantly, people trying to comfort her, trying to defend her, trying to reassure her that Karlissa's bold move meant nothing. But even with support flooding her notifications, the emotional damage was already done. You could see it in her eyes, hear it in her voice, feel it through her silence between posts. Karlissa, meanwhile, showed no signs of slowing down. She doubled down harder than ever, posting cryptic lines, dropping subtle hints, and acting like she possessed a truth so powerful it would change the entire trajectory of the situation. But instead of being entertained, the internet began turning on her. People started calling her obsessive, controlling, invasive, even cruel. They said she crossed a line by involving a baby in adult drama. They said she needed to back off before she made everything worse. And the more she posted, the more the comments shifted against her. Her confidence didn't waver, though. She continued to speak like a woman on a mission. But underneath her bravado, you could hear it, a hint of desperation. A sense that she had been waiting years for a moment of validation. And now that she finally had the spotlight, she wasn't letting go. Whether she was right or wrong didn't matter anymore. What mattered was that she believed she had a truth worth fighting for. And she was prepared to burn every relationship in her life to prove it. Meanwhile, Blueface hovered over the mess like a storm cloud nobody asked for. His posts grew more smug, more mysterious, more chaotic, and that only made people angrier. They felt he was using the situation for attention, stirring the pot instead of stepping up as a father or calming the chaos around his family. Some fans even accused him of encouraging the DNA test behind the scenes. Whether true or not, the timing of his cryptic comments made it clear he wasn't helping the situation. He was adding more confusion, more suspicion, and more emotional fire to an already burning pile. As public pressure intensified, Ronny found himself caught in the crossfire of opinions. Some still viewed him as the messenger who exposed cracks everyone ignored. Others saw him as an instigator who enjoyed fanning the flames. His involvement, once entertaining, now felt heavy and complicated. Even he seemed to realize the situation had spiraled way beyond anything he intended. His posts became less confident, his energy shifted, and his sudden silence hinted that he, too, was feeling the weight of what he'd contributed to. Then came the moment that changed everything, the leak nobody expected. A clip allegedly showing Karlissa hinting she had seen something in those results resurfaced, and the internet lost its composure all over again. It wasn't what she said. It was the way she said it, calm, steady, almost victorious. The tone of someone who believed she had proof that would shatter someone's entire world. And instantly, people started asking the question nobody wanted to say out loud. Did she actually find something? The conversation shifted sharply. Fans who previously mocked the drama now debated the emotional consequences. Some insisted the DNA test was unreliable because Karlissa was not the biological mother. Others said it didn't matter. The fact she tried meant something deeper was going on. A few even said she was trying to force a result, create doubt, or manipulate the narrative for attention. But the darkest theory remained the most persistent. What if Chrisean reacted the way she did because she already feared the truth? The pressure on Chrisean became overwhelming. For the first time, fans saw her crumble. Not on camera, not in a rant, but in the quiet moments between posts. In the way she vanished for hours. In the way she returned softer, sadder, less fiery. The loudest girl in the room suddenly looked like she had lost her voice. And that silence said more than any argument ever could. People could see it, the weight of the humiliation, the invasion of privacy, the insult to her motherhood, the threat to her truth, and then she posted again. This time with a message that felt like a dagger. Stop playing with my baby. That one line snapped everyone back into protection mode. Her fans rallied. Her supporters defended her harder. People began calling out Karlissa, accusing her of emotional warfare. They said the baby was innocent and should never have been dragged into adult conflict. They said motherhood should be respected. They said Karlissa crossed a boundary no one should cross, no matter the circumstances. But even with the internet flipping to her side, the damage had already carved deep into Chrisean's world. Her trust was shattered. Her peace was gone. And now she was standing on the edge of a cliff made of rumors, accusations, emotional trauma, and unresolved truths. The aftermath hurt everyone involved. Reputations damaged, relationships strained, trust broken. And the worst part? No results were revealed. Nothing was confirmed. No truth was shared. The world was left suspended in doubt, tension, and chaotic speculation. But one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't the end. This was the opening chapter of something much bigger, deeper, and messier. A storm building behind the scenes. A truth waiting to explode. A universe where silence speaks louder than facts. And when this story finally comes to light, it won't be gentle. And if you've survived this entire emotional circus without losing your sanity, misplacing your common sense, or throwing your phone across the room, congratulations, you are officially built for the Vibe Crave universe. Because this wasn't just drama. This wasn't just a mess. This was a full-blown emotional demolition derby where everybody got hit, nobody got clarity, and the internet got fed better than Thanksgiving dinner. And let's be real, the story isn't even close to over. Before you run off to send screenshots to your group chat, do what needs to be done. Smash that like button like you're slapping a DNA envelope out of Karlissa's hand. Hit subscribe like you're closing the door on Blueface's confusing commentary. Drop a comment and tell me what you think is really going on behind Chrisean's meltdown, what Karlissa meant by her cryptic lines, and whether this entire scandal is about truth or pure chaos dressed up as concern. And don't forget to turn on notifications because the second another leak drops or another live explodes, Vibe Crave will break it down with more fire than anyone else. This channel isn't just where scandals go to be explained. This is where they get roasted, remixed, deep-dived, magnified, and dragged into the brightest spotlight possible. We don't just report the drama, we live in it, breathe it, and serve it back with extra flavor and zero mercy. So stay locked in, stay loud, stay messy, and stay ready, because with this family, another plot twist is already forming in the shadows. Vibe Crave, where chaos becomes content.